Guys, my name is Amanda. Welcome to my channel. I am so happy to have you here today. If you have not subscribed to my channel and you like the content that you see, please consider subscribing. If you do subscribe, please hit that bell button so you are notified every single time that I upload. And everyone, please consider giving me a big thumbs up, as that really helps me out here on YouTube, and it allows YouTube to know that people are enjoying the content I create. Thank you so much, friends. Enjoy the DIYs today. So for DIY number 1, I'm going to share with you this gorgeous farmhouse style display type box that you could put any season of decor in. I think it would look beautiful with pumpkins in it. And you can stain it, paint it, or customize it however you like. You will need 2 of these Dollar Tree crates, which you will glue side by side. Then you will take some of these large craft sticks from Walmart that we are going to be working with today. Cut off the rounded parts and make sure that each craft stick is the same length. You will need 3 of these. We will be gluing 2 to either side of one side of the box. Once that is done, we will take our third one and place it in the middle where that seam is, where the 2 boxes meet. Once you're done with that, you can go ahead and flip this thing back over, and you'll need 2 more of the large craft sticks. You will cut them down to where they fit across the top there and meet in the middle so that you can disguise that seam. You will then glue them down across the top. Once that is done, you can trim off the rounded parts of the other craft sticks. I am just using hot glue, but you could use wood glue, super glue, whatever type of adhesive that you like. I'm just using hot glue for video purposes, and it worked pretty well. There is also a wood glue, hot glue that you could use. So this was super easy to assemble. Now I'm just going to take a couple more craft sticks. I'm going to take a nice long one, and I'm going to place it diagonally on the pane of one of my little window panes here. I'll do the same thing on the other side, just gluing it down. And if any goes over the side of my box, I can just go ahead and trim that off with a sharp scissor. That is what's so good about these craft sticks. They are easily trimmed off. Next, you will just take 2 more long craft sticks and slide them under or through each part of the window pane there, forming an X with your craft sticks, and glue them down. You will need a total of 9 craft sticks to complete this, or 10 if you want to cover up the cutouts on the side of your box, which is what I did. I just cut down a little piece and went ahead and glued it there on the side. I stained this thing with Waverly Antique Wax, but again, it is super customizable. Paint it, stain it, leave it natural, whatever you like. This is what it looks like. I think it is absolutely gorgeous. It was well under $5 to create, only about 3, and I love it. Okay, let's talk about today's challenge. This is a super fun challenge that my friend Missy from Crafty Cove and Emily from Farm Charm Chic, they put this on every month, and I always try to join. They always have a different theme, and it's always so fun. These ladies are talented. They're great friends of mine. I love participating. Their co-host this month is La Parsha from Creating It Myself. She is talented and super sweet as well. I will have all 3 of these ladies linked below, as well as our playlist, so you can get tons of awesome farmhouse inspiration. Okay, let's jump right into DIY number 2. For this DIY, I'm going to share a set of wall art with you that is well under $5 for both pieces, maybe around 2. It's kind of hard to estimate, but it's very inexpensive. I'm going to begin taking 4 more of these super jumbo craft sticks, the largest craft stick that you can purchase from Walmart, and they are $3.98. But you get 45, so I'm just using 4 of them here, so that's a matter of cents. I am gluing them together in a square shape, and I'm just cutting off any rounded parts that are peeking through. Then I'm also going to be using some Dollar Tree wooden skewer sticks. They come a lot to a pack. I'm not sure of the exact number, but I'll only be using about a third of the package for both of these frames. So I'm going to decide which part of the frame I want to be my back, and then I'm going to flip it so the back is up, and I am going to drizzle some super glue on the top and bottom of this frame, and I'm just going to begin laying my little skewer sticks out. Now, if you want to trim them first, that would be absolutely fine. I just knew that I could either cut off the top side with my miter saw or my wire cutters, so I wasn't worried about it, but you could totally cut them to size to fit in here if you wanted to, if that was easier for you. Once you have them placed, I then drizzled some hot glue over the top and bottom there. If any of the hot glue drips through, it'll just drip through to the frame on the other side and won't be visible. I then covered that hot glue with a piece of white masking tape to hold everything together and give extra stability. So I do the same thing on the top and on the bottom. Once that is done, you can go ahead and cut off the excess of your little skewer sticks. Again, you can use a super sharp scissor, you could use a wire cutter, you could use a miter saw, whatever you like, or you could cut it to size before you begin. So here I'm just adding a little bit of hot glue between my frame and my skewer sticks there, pressing everything down, and here I'm cutting them off. Then once that is done, you can go ahead and customize this thing. I decided to cover the frame with painter's tape so that I could go ahead and paint the skewer stick part with some Waverly Plaster chalk paint. Then I just moved my tape to cover my skewer sticks so that I could go ahead and stain my frame with Waverly Antique Wax. But you could paint this whatever color combination you like. You could stain this however you want to do this. Would look beautiful, I am sure. You can use a skewer stick to remove any excess paint between your skewer sticks that you do not want. I did rub off some excess paint with my little piece of paper towel there, and here I am just staining the outside with the Waverly Antique Wax as I said I was going to. I paint it on and then just rub it off with a paper towel. Then I take this little family word from Dollar Tree. They do come 2 to a pack, and I just used one, so about 75 cents here. So I'm going to say each one of these maybe $1.50, probably not even that much. But I was so excited, and I think the set is beautiful. I made a smaller one and just did the reverse with a plaster colored frame and a Waverly Antique Wax center, and I used the home word that also comes 2 to a pack. And then I went ahead and dry brushed some plaster on top of my Waverly Antique Wax frame and some antique wax on top of my plaster colored frame. And here's what this adorable little set looks like. You could put hangers on the back or just prop it up like I did. I hope you like that one. Let's jump right into DIY number 3, where I used about 15 of these super jumbo craft sticks, again 45 to a pack, and I am going to use 2 sets of the Dollar Tree bamboo rings. I'm going to use the 2 larger ones for the large lantern and the 2 smaller ones for the smaller lantern. So together, both of these lanterns are still under $5. I'm going to go ahead and place 6 craft sticks out. I tape them down with painter's tape to hold them, and then I'm just going to trace my larger ring on top of them. I will then take the craft sticks and trim them one by one with a sharp scissor to get the shape that I need for that particular craft stick until I can put all of them together and have a nice circle that will go ahead and fit in the bottom of my bamboo ring. Now for the larger one, I kind of traced the inside of the bamboo ring, so my bottom is a very, very tight fit. I got smarter for the smaller lantern and traced outside my bamboo ring. So just go ahead and do that. Now we're going to use a couple extra craft sticks outside of our 15 to hold these together. So I just glued one across the top and one across the bottom like so, using super glue and hot glue alternated, and then I just trim them off. Here is where you just attach it to your bamboo wreath. I used a couple of pieces of excess craft stick and just glued them down, trimming off any excess, and flipped it over. Here's the bottom of your lantern. Now go ahead and take 4 of your craft sticks and glue them down using some hot glue and super glue alternated. I went ahead and stood one up, then I stood another one directly across from it, and then I repeated the same process, standing a third one up and placing the fourth one directly across, so I had 4 pillars for this lantern. Once you have your 4 pillars, you can go ahead and attach your top ring. Again, using super glue and hot glue alternated. I glued one piece down, then glued down the craft stick across from that guy, and repeated the process with the other 2 craft sticks. Once I was completely done, I then took my sharp scissor and trimmed off the rounded parts of my craft stick. This lantern was so easy to make, and I think it is really gorgeous. It's very customizable. You could paint it, you could stain it, you could leave it natural, you could decorate it with candles, pumpkins, some faux candles from Dollar Tree, or battery lighted candles from Dollar Tree. You could even put the little Christmas tree in here at Christmas time. Super fun. The sky is the limit. You could even paint it black and put skulls in it for Halloween. Whatever you like. So of course, I repeat this process and make a smaller one using just 5 across for my bottom instead of 6. And here's what they look like. Absolutely gorgeous. I did stain them with my Waverly Antique Wax, painting it on and rubbing it off. But again, customize this thing any way that you like. I hope you enjoyed that one. And now we're going to move right into DIY number 4. DIY number 4 and 5 can go together beautifully. So for number 4, I'm going to show you how I made this absolutely gorgeous piece of wall art using craft sticks. You'll need about 36 of these craft sticks and maybe a couple for security in the back or just in case you make a mistake. So you do kind of want to set aside a package for this project, but not to worry, a package is only $3.96, so we're still under our $5 mark. I'm going to begin by cutting some down to the same length. So these are about 8 inches here. I'm going to cut 4 down to this 8-inch mark. What we want is each one of our little window panels to be 7 inches wide and 8 inches high. So I'm just using each craft stick to kind of guide me while I cut the other one. Now I have 4 that are all the same length. I'm going to go ahead and place down one large craft stick diagonally, and then I'm going to take one of my 8-inch craft sticks and place it on either side of that larger craft stick. If you have some of the rounded part hanging over the edge, no worries. Just go ahead once everything is put together and trim it off with your sharp scissor. Now I'm going to go ahead and glue it down, but again, use any type of adhesive you feel comfortable with. I am just using hot glue for video purposes, but it held pretty well. Once that is done, go ahead and take your other piece of craft stick that is uncut and place it across the top of this, forming an X, so it'll also be diagonally and it'll be forming your X there. So here we have used 4 craft sticks, and I'll show you how we get to 8 here in a second. So just glue this down, press it firmly, and then go ahead and take another craft stick that is cut to your 8-inch. Now this will be too long because we only went 7 inches wide. So I got a little smarter after this and I just trimmed this down and then started cutting the ones for the top and bottom 7 inches. Because again, this is 8 inches high and it is 7 inches wide. But you could make these larger if you wanted. You could make them a little smaller if you wanted. Now I'm going to go ahead and glue down the top underneath like that. And then once I trim off the edges, we are going to place one more craft stick on the top and bottom to finish off this side here where you can see the craft sticks going across. So we're kind of going to make a craft stick sandwich, if that makes any sense. So either side is neat and clean and you can't see those crossbars going across. So here we are just finishing up our trimming, and once that is complete, again, grab your craft sticks. These ones, if they're not cut down to 7 inches, you'll have to cut them down, but you can just go ahead and cut them easily and then glue them down over where the crossbars are going across to give a clean and finished look, gluing them down and pressing them firmly. Once that is done, you're going to repeat this process 4 times. If you get a little confused about how you made the first one, I got a little confused about which craft stick I laid down first, just go back and look at it. It really doesn't matter as long as you achieve this crisscross look and have a nice clean at least a nice clean front, but I wanted both sides to be nice. So here we are finishing up, and Boom. Go ahead and multiply that by 4. Once you're done with that, you can place all 4 of them together as neat as possible. If your ends aren't perfect, no worries. We are going to cover those up. It's pretty hard to get absolutely perfect ends, so I had a plan for that already. So here we are laying them all out as neat as possible. And then once that is complete, I'm going to make sure that I have my backside facing up so I can glue some craft sticks down for stability. Just using some spare pieces of craft stick, I'm going to glue where all of my sides meet here with my hot glued craft stick, being careful to put hot glues on the side of the craft sticks and not to where they're going to seep through that little crack there. So just use little pieces of wood to glue down until you feel like it is stable and it is secure and not going anywhere. Then go ahead and flip it back over. Now I went and took a piece of craft stick and I cut 2 little pieces for the top and bottom seam of this frame, which you'll see here in a second. There we go. I took 2 little pieces that were the width and top of the top and bottom and just glued them down to cover where my craft sticks are meeting. And then for that middle, to clean it up and also add a little more decoration, I'm going to take one of these square wood pieces from Dollar Tree. They come 6 to a pack, but Walmart sells these as well if you can't find them at your Dollar Tree. And I'm just going to glue it down there. You can glue it to where the square is in shape, or you can glue it kind of like a diamond like I did. Now, stain this thing, paint it, do whatever you like with it. I used some golden oak gel stain, as at this point in the video I didn't have a lot of antique wax, and then I just took a little bit of antique wax that I had, watered it down, and put it on top of this golden oak gel stain, and it was a beautiful color. Now you could put a design in the middle there. You could use a stencil, a rub-on transfer, stickers, whatever you like. I left mine plain because I thought our next DIY would look beautiful with it, but you could do whatever you like. For DIY number 5, our final DIY, I'm showing you how it looks on top of this beautiful frame that we have just made, but you could also display it on by itself or on another frame, whatever you like. I took another pack of bamboo rounds from Dollar Tree and some Boxwood greenery that you can get for 99 cents from Walmart. And so I'm pulling off all of the pieces of greenery. Now I had 2 picks that were only about half full as I had used them, and then I had 1 full pick. So I had about 2 full picks, and I took this large wreath ring, so we're going to be well under $5 here, and I tied a piece of twine around the top so my hanger would already be on there, and then I just went ahead and staggered a bunch of pieces of this boxwood using hot glue all the way around the outside of this wreath ring. Once I get it all the way around the outside, I am also going to do that edge that is facing upward. I'm going to go all the way around that. Then I will go all the way around the inside of this wooden ring. So I'm going to do 3 circles all the way around with this boxwood, again, staggering it, the outside, the top, and the inside. And this just makes such an adorable, inexpensive boxwood wreath, and it looks really full and pretty by staggering it like so. So again, about $3 or so worth of boxwood, and then about 75 cents for our little round. So well under $5, you have this fairly nice size, a beautiful boxwood wreath. And if you don't have a wreath ring that you want to use, which I didn't, this wooden ring works perfectly. So here this is, and I thought it was gorgeous paired with DIY number 4. I just took those pieces of twine and tied it through the back of DIY number 4, and here is what it looks like. I really hope that you enjoy these as much as I enjoyed making them. Thank you so much for watching today. I hope you enjoyed the video. Please don't forget to subscribe and give me a thumbs up, and take care, friends. Okay, here's your last minute look at all of our projects today. This gorgeous little set of framed art, our beautiful lanterns, our very customizable little farmhouse box here, and our farmhouse inspired window panes made of wood, and a wreath for on the top. Please let me know in the comment section which was your favorite, and take care, friends.
You can subscribe to my mom's channel, and thank you for watching today's craft, and stay safe.